What do you do, guys? This is episode 29's fourth update for Calling of a Ravenous Bird, and this has to do with the prophecy that I gave there on episode 29, which concerned Cyril Ramaphosa clamping down on state capture and the corruption that is happening. So we saw on the 10th of July that the snow cover and the temperatures sort of just dropped, and it increased the load shedding. We're up to stage 6 of load shedding all of a sudden. So I've been personally planning all of this, and I've been waiting since the 6th of June, to be quite honest. And I've been waiting on God, but also that's other things that's related to this. So I've been waiting for this, and I now feel like we are now definitely in it, because ever since the snow drop that happened on the 10th of July of 2023, I figured, well, okay, I think now this things should start happening. And then on the 13th of July, we had the Corn Court, or Constitutional Court, hearing that rejected Mr. Jacob Zuma, the former president of the state of South Africa, in terms of his medical parole appeal. So he then has to now subsequently return to jail, and since then he has actually vacated the country. Ironically, I'm also feeling sick, and I've been under the weather since the snow drop, actually. So I've been fighting a flu, and I couldn't really record much. So this is a short one, just before I start giving out my symptoms and everyone starts getting turned off because of my coughing and all of this. But anyway, as far as that is concerned, Jacob Zuma is also feeling under the weather, and he's getting treatment in Russia. I don't know how convenient this all of this is, but I'm just going to stay away from that. But what I'm saying there essentially is that if you remember the prophecy in itself, that I said there was going to be a high profile arrest that is going to happen, and I do believe that it's definitely looking at Jacob Zuma, because if you remember the work of the state capture and the whole commission and all of this, is that it's centered really around Jacob Zuma's administration at the time. So it does make sense, and I also do believe that the high profile arrest could also be coincidentally the Gupta brothers being extradited and brought back to South Africa, which is something else that is quite a possibility at this juncture. So don't be too surprised when that happens. But of course, that still centers around the nation's, the former head of state, in terms of Jacob Zuma in this regard. So make no mistakes, people. God never lies. So God is bringing this over to a close. And like I actually detailed at the time, is that Cyril Ramaphosa is doing this really because there's no other choice in terms of keeping the lights on and keeping Eskom going. And if you remember, and you've been patting the channel for a while, that as it happened, that I've been saying to you, Cyril Ramaphosa is literally the one running the switch. And subsequently, when I also prophesied and fulfilled that the CEO in Mr. Andre Doreta exiting and quitting the parastatal, that came and passed, and there has been no subsequent CEO of Eskom, if you recall me saying that at the time. And here we are right now in free float, and then all of a sudden there was this drop in temperature and in icy conditions. And in my part of the world, here in Johannesburg, we received some snow, and it was quite a delightful thing to see, because the last time I saw this was August of 2012. And and now here we are, just like that. And I've been waiting for this drop in temperature, like I was saying, since the 6th of June. But and now we're deep in it, and this is where we are as far as having to keep the lights on, or having to just deal with load shedding. And Cyril Ramaphosa is doing what he has to do in terms of just keeping this whole parastatal and the power utility going. So this is has been a quite a development, and we should start seeing certain things, and start seeing not only people just getting arrested, but that people really are, that there's going to be funds just being availed out of nowhere, just so that the country just keeps going and keeping the lights on. And I don't know as far as what happens to Cyril Ramaphosa after this. I do believe that that will just be his mandate, so to speak. And next year's elections, maybe I don't think we'll ever see the ANC much again. They're in pretty much disarray, but we are now in the end game, so to speak, as far as the ANC and also Cyril Ramaphosa's tenure as South African president. And I said that this has to be done, and this was always going to be done. And no matter what his detractors tried to do in getting him out, they were just not going to get out of God's principle as far as stating the facts of, well, not stating the facts, but laying down the punitives for malfeasance and government malfeasance and corruption. So this had to be done through Cyril Ramaphosa, no matter what you may think of the man or whatever issues that anybody may have with him. That's now between him and God as far as his actions is concerned. And he did what he had to do by the Father, and that was the one corrective measure that he has done right as far as his presidency is concerned. Anyway, people, I'm just going to leave it over there. I think I've said a bit too much and I've repeated myself, but put your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and everything else in your life will work out right. And we just need to keep praying and keep our faith in God, because he's handled the situation the way he has shown me and the way he has just brought this now to a close and bringing it to a close. I will be back. I probably will be back more so, and I'll connect the dots in terms of the other sort of the other prophecies I was given and everything else, because you'll start seeing the connections and why I was saying this, and the details, of course, are being accounted for and being connected at this juncture. May God bless you and keep you. Cheers and bye-bye.